I had originally read Night of the Burning Pestle as part of an undergrad project in recontextualizing classical text, and had been fascinated with this play that was about sort of the relationship between audience and performer, audience and artist, and what we sort of owe each other, and also the chaos and the tension that can kind of come from that relationship. And it struck me as being very funny, even though linguistically we're very removed from the time of Jacobean theater.
The world of the show is set in a modern production of The London Merchant that is set in the 1940s wartime era. And in the process of putting on this show, we have three supposed audience members that go onto the stage and start asking them to do a different show and putting their own person into the show.
Working through the text was a bit of a challenge, since it is like, it's a very archaic piece, even though Caitlin's done like such a wonderful job at like revamping it up for the modern day. It took a little bit of adjusting to, but I think in the end it's almost funnier to have it be this like old-timey language. So it was a challenge, but it was like a fun challenge.
Bringing this play to modern day audiences, for me, the connection came from my days growing up in community theater. You know, there are certain personalities, certain tropes, things that come up in those communities and in the process of doing theater on a community level. So with this play, I thought that the tension between wanting to make art as a community and also wanting to be entertained as a community are tensions and clashes that have existed seemingly across these hundreds of years.
But this show is just strictly comedy. It relies heavily on comedy and the consistency of it, and it's been a challenge, but it's been very fun so far.
I think audiences will be surprised by how much energy there is in it. It's just a lot of energy that all the cast is putting in, and the way they work together is really interesting, of having that good chemistry, but also acting as if it is very impromptu and there is that conflict of interest for how the show progresses.
You think like, oh, how much more chaotic can this get? And you're like, okay, that's it, we're done. And then you're like, oh, no, there's more now. And it just keeps going. It just keeps going. And it's like not consistent at all. You're just kind of like, what in the world is happening?
This is a love letter from me and the cast and the crew to theater itself. So I think people who see a lot of theater are going to get a little bit more out of it just because we know what it's like. That being said, I think someone who has no idea what theater is but knows that entertainment should be entertaining will love this.